Hey, hey everybody, what's up? Let's get some sound working here. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Monday night. With me
Hey everybody, what's up?
is Toll Dog, I believe. You in here, Toll Dog?
I am in here.
There you go. We are live on YouTube, on Watch Me Work, on Twitch. Ready to do some drawing. I'm slightly ahead of the curve tonight. Let's see if I can not hit the microphone. Mission accomplished. We got yet another Legend of Bill strip. So, Toll Dog, what's going on?
I was just watching that Ladybug show on Netflix. It is rough.
Like rough as in quality of animation rough?
Yeah, miraculous or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Oh, woof.
That bad, huh?
Yeah, I mean it's everything's hyper exaggerated. You know?
Hyper exaggerated.
Yeah,
Like the
like
character design or the
all the movement and everything.
okay. I see what you
Yeah.
mean.
It's not just a reaction, it's a big reaction. It's not just a movement, it's a huge movement.
I got you.
Yeah. I mean, it's done in 3D or
Yeah.
CG, so you know, I mean, somebody's spending the work on it, but they just, it's
Right.
probably some of it's probably stylistic, but I imagine some of it's just, that's you get what you get, right?
You get what you get and you don't pitch a fit,
That's exactly right.
as the book says. All right, let me get my other window open over here so I can be watching what I'm doing and all this and that. All this and all that. All right, here we go. I might start drawing now. I might. No, I can't do it. So I bought and am listening to the soundtrack to FTL, which is like the best game ever. Came out years ago, and it's still the best game ever. So I'm pretty sure that my YouTube stream is going to get copyright infringement all over the place.
But FTL is an amazing game.
Oh, it's the best.
It did a good job of bringing back sort of a retro feel, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, the fact that it's a roguelike is awesome in and of itself.
Yeah, it's roguelike and it's pixel art. You know?
Sort of. Yeah, sort of. I mean, it is, but it's not a major feature of the game like like
No.
Metroid or something like that.
No, you're right. But it does feel like, I mean, it feels very clean, but it's very and it almost, I think, opened up a genre for a while, you know? I think some of the stuff like what some of the space games that some of the people that have come out recently were heavily inspired by FTL.
FTL is just so good. I've been watching this streamer play it. He goes by the name Lethal Frag. And if you guys haven't checked him out on Twitch, check him out, Lethal Frag. It is the most chill stream. He has between 1,000 and 2,000 people in there every night. And I mean, it's just so cool. Everybody's so nice in there and everything is so good, and he's just playing FTL. And some other games, but mainly FTL is what I've seen him stream recently, anyway. And oh man, is it such a good game. And when I played it, I didn't really get into the strategy of the game. I mean, I got into the strategy as in, like, shoot here, try this first, do that first, but not like the math of it. But Lethal Frag is doing runs, with certain ship types and trying different things, trying different weapons, and it's so good.
Yeah, there's definitely certain builds you want to have, but some of that equipment pops up so random
Yeah,
that
exactly.
it's like you're gonna play a game that it's just gonna suck.
Well, sometimes like he'll do a run, and if the run ends early, then he just starts another run. So what he
Yeah,
tries to do is see how long he can take his streak.
yeah, that's a good way to do it.
And he did a boarding run the other night with one of the ships, and I was like, "What? I didn't even think about that being a possibility. Is that being your main offense?
All right, it's just boarding and attacking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was great. It was the awesome.
I've been playing Factorio again, which is like such a grinding game.
Is that the math game?
No, it sounds that way, right?
Yeah. Well,
No, I mean the
you were
game is.
you were playing some puzzle game at one point where it was like you were doing
Oh yeah,
math to
yeah. No, this one is a you crash land on a planet, and it's top down art style, and you collect resources, and eventually you build up a rocket ship to leave the planet, but like you have conveyor belts and robotic arms and things that extract stuff from the ground, things that furnaces that turn the extracted metal into metal sheets. Then you have factories that turn the metal sheets into cogs, and then you have something that takes cogs and metal sheets and turns them into conveyor belts, and so on and so forth.
gotcha.
So you have to build this huge assembly line, to that has to constantly be fed. Eventually, you build a train, and you have the train shipping. You have one section where all you're doing is just mining all the resources, filling up train cars and having them shipped, to where your furnaces are, which take all of that and turn it into metal, and then you ship that to where all your factories are, who do all the build everything. It's insane.
That sounds terrible.
It's like there's an order to everything, and you sort of watch like your resources. It's like, oh, I need more factories that make X because I'm running out of that before I'm running out of the other resources.
See, here I am talking about like starships, piloting your own starship and your crew, and going and doing all this fun stuff, and you're talking about adulting. That's what
I
you're
know
doing. Is you're
it
being
pretty much is.
you're playing adulting the simulator.
It's not even adulting the simulator. It's like factory foreman the simulator.
No, no.
Yeah, I hear you. I always get so far in my game, and it's roguelike too, because there's aliens that, like, the pollution that you generate eventually tick off the aliens, and they come and swarm your base. So you have to build defenses, and if they kill you, you're dead, and that's it.
All because of the pollution.
Yeah.
That
Well,
may or may not be contributing to the problem.
No, you're totally devastating this planet by sucking up all its resources.
Allegedly devastating the planet.
That's right. I heard those. All that research was bunk.
It's allegedly devastating the planet. Allegedly.
That's right.
I mean, hey, I'm looking outside right now and it's not snowing, so I don't think anything's changing too much.
It was awfully chilly this morning, though. It was like 4 degrees Celsius.
Nerd.
Yeah. Well, I just do that for matter of convenience. Half the people I talk to anymore are using the European methods.
Centigrating?
Yep.
You need to be like, listen, you Swiss nerds.
Or British. Sometimes I'll ask them what the temperature is in American. Like they could talk about the temperature. It's like, oh yeah, it's like 10 degrees out. Like, what's that in American? Ask them when they're going to learn proper English.
Can you tell me what that temperature is in freedom?
And freedom units. That's what the F stands for.
That's right. Freedom fries.
Now, is this the stuff you were sketching out last night?
Yeah. It's getting cleaned up. I'm looking over at my other monitor because that's where my other window is. That's where my other window is at.
You have all your little widgets and dockers all hidden.
All my little who's and what's its. Oh,
Yeah,
you mean in the software?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Yeah, because I'm still working at 600 DPI, and that means that I get in really close here, and
You need that real estate.
Need that real estate.
Oh, Don's checking in.
Hey, Mr. Don, how you doing? Well, I ain't got too thick on me. Too thick, I say. Zap. Oh, that's cool.
So that's where all our warm weather went.
Yeah. How unseasonably warm? Is it like 45? Is everybody out in bathing suits?
How warm is it?
I mean, I remember in Chicago when it hit like 55, people were like, summer's here, let's go.
60, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's barbecue weather in Wisconsin.
Yeah. The governor has issued a state of emergency.
That's right. Don't turn your air conditioners on yet.
For this heat wave.
I remember a couple times when we were in Chicago, we'd wear shorts when it was like in the 60s.
Oh yeah, dude,
Like we
Buddy,
got so excited.
Buddy did that all the time.
Yeah, but Buddy's like not human. He did a lot of things that were not normal. Bless him. I need to play more FTL just so I can get open up more of the ships.
FTL is a good game. It's super compelling too, like story wise.
Mm-hmm. Well, they do
Although,
a good job with those random encounters, and with there being like more to it than just like some of those encounters that actually have like a point.
oh yeah,
Just that boss at the end is ridiculous.
dude, I've learned so much about that game watching Lethal Frag play it,
Mm.
and the way he talks about it, like, oh hey, yeah, we got this event, so that means that there's a chance that we'll be able to pick up this guy later once we get into Sector 6 and blah blah
Oh
blah.
yeah,
And it's like the playing the odds, right? Like once you know the deck, then you can start sort of playing the odds and figure out what card might be dealt next.
sure.
But like it's just so cool.
Yeah, you find that frozen pod, and that opens up a couple events.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of stuff now. It's all updated.
Oh yeah, see, I need to play more.
There's different equipment and different weapons, stuff like that. I saw where they greenlit Indiana Jones 5 today.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
No, I'm a little worried.
I mean, it all depends. If they have a good story in that universe, I'm all for it. If they try to make Harrison Ford do action again,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'm cautiously optimistic, I believe is the phrase.
I mean, we could end up with another Shia LaBeouf because of this thing.
I didn't even really mind Shia LaBeouf that much in the last one.
With everything else going on, that's
Yeah.
true.
The thing that got me right off the bat, and this is kind of a silly thing, but it still got me right off the bat, was at the very first when he and the dude are in the custody of the Russians in Crystal Skull, and there is some ADR. There's some dialogue that Indy says to Kate Blanchett, and his back is to camera, but it's Indy's voice. And he's like, and you can hear it not. I mean, like the sound was so bad, it didn't even sound like Harrison Ford. And she's like, do you know where I'm from, Dr. Jones, or something like that? I forget what the setup to the line is, but he's like, the way you're chomping those wubba-yous. I'm like, oh God, no, no.
That's crazy.
It's terrible. Go find it. Go listen to it. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Worst ADR ever.
And speaking of Shia LaBeouf and movies, what's up with that Bumblebee movie?
The Bumblebee movie?
Yeah, the guy from Leica's directing the Transformers spinoff.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know there was a Bumblebee
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Don't know how I missed that.
Yeah, I saw it was announced. I saw it like it was like on PDI or something like that. They were talking about it because it was the guy from Leica is directing it.
Oh, okay. Oh, good for him, I guess.
Yeah, it just feels like what a weird.
Yeah, Don, you're right. When the movie coins a new phrase for terribleness, like jumping the shark or nuking the fridge, then yeah,
That's right. That's true. When it's so bad that the Fonz's phrase has been replaced.
yeah, that's how bad. That's how you know it's bad. That's how you know.
Yeah, I can't think of another example other than those two where a movie has done something like that people just like I can't get behind that.
Where the movie literally jumped the shark.
Yeah, where it felt like
Excuse me.
it wasn't required. Yeah. Yeah. And the movie could have been okay.
Oh yeah, totally. I don't even mind the alien stuff. Like I think that's a pretty apropos theme for a 50s Indiana Jones, right? Because
Yeah.
you know, it's because of the time period. That's fine. I'm not even upset about that. But it just felt like it wasn't made with care. It felt like it was phoned in. That's my problem. That was my beef with it.
Yeah, it could have been a cave or it could have been like a like a fallout shelter or something, right? Yeah, this was in the middle of like a test place. It could
Oh,
have been like a little manhole, almost like on the island, right, in Lost. You know,
okay, okay. Don't even bring up Lost.
I'm just talking about that type of like, concrete,
Like a
tube.
like a bunker.
Yeah, that really deep bunker type thing.
I'm gonna go on record. I'm not even that upset about the whole refrigerator. I'm not even that upset about nuking the fridge. I'm more upset about just the just how junky the movie felt. Like it just felt thrown together.
Yeah.
Just did not feel good.
And see, the thing is, it didn't even have to be a nuclear blast. It could have just been a large bomb.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. It's like a nuclear blast. There's going to be fallout afterwards.
Well, I mean, the whole that testing range and everything works for me. Like I didn't have a problem there. I was pretty much okay there. It's just the even the beginning of the movie, like when it started with the hot rods, like the guys and girl in the rumble seat in that car, like going for
Yeah,
a joyride. I was even down with that. I was like, "Yep, 50s, got it. We've set up the 50s. I dig it. That's fine." Indies in
that's
the
a little bit of a American graffiti too.
Yeah, why not? Like, Indy's getting older. He's getting in his the decade has changed. Why not respect that? I'm all about that. That's cool. But then you had to go and do dumb stuff.
Well, that's also where Harrison got his start, right?
American
American
Graffiti.
graffiti.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, who knows if they were smart enough as that was the reason why they chose what they chose.
I think it was just to set up the era, set up the time,
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that is sort of a classic way to bring you into it. It's either that or malt chops.
But yeah, it felt like Indy was always going into whatever he was going into in that movie, that particular movie, completely unprepared.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, even in Temple of Doom, he knew a little bit of the history of the area. You know, he's like, well, the people that lived here before were cultists and blah 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 blah. Here, it just felt like, what, aliens? That's so weird. I need to go find my friend.
Yeah. Hmm.
And the whole thing with like the staring into the skull mind control bit, like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you buy Temple of Doom, it makes sense, but as a kid, I loved Temple of Doom. Like that was my jam.
Right? Yeah, the Temple of Doom was pretty all right. I mean, it had, for the time, it was. I can't think of anything that stood up against it for the style of movie.
Oh, people hated it. It was hated. People still say it's one of the worst. Like, it is the worst Indiana Jones. Even against 4, they'll say it's terrible. I hate Temple of Doom. But I think it's just because
They were too old when they saw it.
hokey. Yeah, that's a good description of it, Don. It's kind of hokey. Yeah, I thought Temple of Doom was great. I thought Short Round was just the best thing ever. No time for love, Dr. Jones. And the traps, like with the bugs and her having to stick her hand in and everything. Oh, brilliant. Loved it. Don, this is going to be a fun one, man. Yeah, dude, in Temple of Doom, the first time they showed Short Round driving that getaway car with the blocks on his feet, I was like, "What? That's amazing." That and the whole thing at the beginning too. Like, people say they hate the opening sequence of Temple of Doom. I loved it. Oh man. The and the guy was it Lao Chi? I think that's his name or something like that in Club Obi-Wan. The antidote to the poison you just drank. Oh my god, awesome. How can you hate that? Yeah, dude, the spike room coming down. Oh, loved it. And it's apparently, like, timeline wise, somebody I read had figured out that Raiders is actually after Temple of Doom, like in history, in time.
Mm.
That Temple of Doom is actually a prequel to Raiders. And I'm just kind of like, all right, well, I will take your newsletter.
Like I said, he didn't feel like they had to market it that way as a prequel.
Right? They just made it. Because it's so timeless. I mean, it's so, he's a serial character. Which is awesome.
Yeah, outside of the fact that, I mean, you see him get physically older.
Oh yeah, he tries the gun thing. That was yeah. That's a little indicative that it was a sequel and not a prequel for sure. But uh, I loved Last Crusade as well, though. I think Last Crusade might be my favorite, just because Sean Connery is so good in it, and River Phoenix. Because around the time that came out, I was in Boy Scouts, and so when it starts with him as a Boy Scout, I was like, what? Of course, Indiana Jones was a Boy Scout.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Click keys. Alright, let's see. Where are we here? I'm getting lost in this thing. It's a giant panel. This is called the draw really terrible foliage stream.
Yeah, proud of your shrubbery.
I gotta spend more time drawing shrubbery. A shrubbery.
You put it in like every shot.
Well, I mean, a lot happens outside, man.
I know. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying, like, of the amount of times that you draw it,
Yeah.
it's like a staple now.
Well, I mean, and I've graphically kept it the same kind of, you know, like trees and bushes kind of all have the same look all the time, but
I mean, you don't have a whole bunch of biomes that you're traveling through here.
I've done that before. We hit snow quite a bit. Somewhere there's a map that David drew of the world, or well, of the countries that this is sort of in. It's kind of like a map of Middle Earth. But are you clipping your kitty's nails?
Kitty, kitty. My cats are ignoring me right now.
They won't be for long. I've got one underneath me right now, attacking my foot.
Oh yeah. Yep, I've got one cat just chilling on his little cardboard box. The other one sort of wandered off.
Yeah, I had put in some of the spiky stuff previously, like when they were in the Darklands. But I've been trying to keep Gina's world sort of pastoral, at least a little more than usual. I'll have to turn the rulers back on for these guys. Oh wait, I think I just did that on the... Nope, I did it right. Look at me go. I'll redo that again. See if we can get... this to be thicker as it travels up this way. Help draw the line. I'll need to come in and put some detail in Yon Magic. Poor agent number 1. Poor gnome number 1. The Todd getting smacked. He is done for. Zap. This I'll try to keep thicker. And then thin out. Just to play it a little opposite from the other.
You're right. Kitty cat came back, wants some petting.
Yeah, this is definitely cutting deep into the effects budget here. I only get paid for 3 gradients. You're clearly using 6 gradients.
Rendering time. Oh. That's okay. Artist just wasted anyways.
Zap. Yeah, every now and then though you gotta kind of deliver one of these kind of strips, you know. Every now and again, you gotta bring it. Not that, you know, this is the most amazingly drawn strip ever, this particular one, but hey. The problem is, to get this to really feel good, I can't connect everything up like you're seeing here, so it is going to be a lot of selection, which does suck.
I think he's asking you if you've ever thought about doing a good job on one.
Oh yeah. Oh, you mean like super rendered, super detailed? I've done some of that with the gnome stuff, you know, like I'll get in and actually do, you know, get in and start really making it, you know, adding a lot more rendering with the ink, quote unquote. But I try to get it to communicate. And if it communicates, then I'm usually pretty happy.
You have to do that for like a special strip. Yeah.
What, the highly detail?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That's like getting a full page color insert for your story for like people that are in like the manga magazines.
Yeah, I've done the double strip before as well for gnomes. Never for Bill. Never for Bill. Who cares about Bill? Ah. Yeah, I think I still have those two strips that he did that were insane. Insanely detailed.
I think that'd take like a disproportionate amount of time to do it.
More than likely, yeah, it would. It would definitely.
It's not like you go, oh, I doubled the resolution. It's going to only take me twice as long.
Right.
Well, if you had any major story points coming up soon, that'd make a lot of sense.
Right.
Not like anything's going on right now that could cause a major story point.
Well, that's the trick too. Is I saw on Twitter one of the artists I follow was saying that she loves webcomics and she loves reading webcomics, but she gets bored of them just continuing the story all the time.
Right.
Like it just goes for years and they never accomplish their goal. And I was like, yeah, that's about where we are with this. Like I need to get to the big fight and then restructure, like
right. You almost turn it into just a serial story, right? Where it's not a
well, that's what it is.
But if the storyline isn't progressing and you can just pick up any random one and go, oh, okay,
That's one thing I will say for the strips, at least the ones that I've done, is that the storyline is progressing. It's just kind of hard to see when you don't, like, you can't come into these strips and just like, start reading from scratch. Like you really need to go find the history, the archive, and go look at it, Otherwise, you're missing out on a lot of content and a lot of in-jokes, because I go back and use jokes. Like, I'll have a joke pay off a month after I set it up.
That's good.
And I know people that just find the strip are like, what in the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the hardest thing, is getting into a web comic, because it's like when somebody says, "Oh, you got to check this out." I'll like check like the current one and go, "Does this capture my interest?" And if it does, then I'll like go through the archives back to the very first one and start.
The interesting thing is, I find that more people are willing to get in there and start like playing with the idea of the archives and checking stuff out on Go Comics than they are on an actual website, which surprised me. But like, so far the community at Go Comics has been extremely like, when's the next one? How come this doesn't update often enough? Like,
interesting.
Like, they're into it because they can see it all progress live, right? And so they're all wanting to get a hold of it, which Legend of Bill has not been updated in a while on Go Comics, and we need to get on that because it is doing us a huge disservice to not have it running on time. What for Bill? Talking about your fault? No. Gnomes runs on Go Comics fine. It's Legend of Bill though. I don't have the login info for Go Comics for Legend of Bill. I think David does, and he was supposed to give it to me, but he hasn't. And I'm kind of like, uh-oh, I need that, because he said he was going to be he was going to handle uploading, but it's way behind. See, like this that I'm doing right now, this part here, this part gag, part setup with Frank the dragon. You would have to have seen the other strips to know like why there's a stack of papers here and why Frank is over here behind this bush, over in the corner of this giant strip. If you just happened upon it, you'd be like, okay.
Yeah, it's just stuff.
All right, what are we talking about here? Let me take a look at the big picture. You know, the other thing is, I really don't want to ink these tree limbs, or not tree limbs, but tree trunks. I would really rather do them with color, just like a standard color. Let me think about that. Man, this 600 DPI is getting real touchy at this scale. It's like trying to ink with a giant brush.
Like one of the Japanese calligraphers.
Yeah, on very, very small paper. It's like the slightest the slightest press of my hand just makes it insanely
Inky?
inky.
Take one of the Pac-Man characters.
Yeah, Don, that tree ghosting is something I like to do instead of inking them. I'll figure out how to deliver them to you so you can get that easy without it being too crazy. Yeah, if I had, and if I had all the time in the world and I had my druthers, I would even do, instead of just doing black ink outlines of the characters, which I don't like that line right there, I would do colored lines like a cartoon, like an animated show, which I think would look pretty damn snazzy on these characters.
Well, you could do one high res like that.
I've done it. I've done it before on some one-off stills and stuff like that, where I've actually done the line as a color, and you just gotta be careful with it because you have to watch out for where the shadow and highlights are, and then change the line color appropriately. So you really got to set up your file the right way with a lot of different layers and such. It's kind of a pain, but. Whoops. I think it looks nice, though. Yeah, kind of like knockouts. I think I saw that Princess Gina. I'm pretty sure I did anyway. Let's see here. Definitely don't want to zoom in on this. Because that defeats the purpose of inking at 100%. Let's see if I can pull this off. Without it getting too messy. It's like having a giant brush here. That'll be the beard.
I was wondering how you're going to do that detailed work all the way. Yeah.
I'm just sort of zoomed in at 100% and then just kind of like really lightly making marks. And it's still, I mean, it's reading, but it's tiny. Yar.
Hmm.
It is a tiny. I also need to save. There we go. The one thing I'm also going to do is just be really gentle with these hands. This is definitely one of those situations where it's like, I just want him to read his hands. That's all I need. See, you got way too fat there. It gets really stressful when you start thinking, it's like, okay, it's just like you're using a brush. Oh, God. There's no undo key with a brush. Yeah, see, if I didn't have undo, this hand probably just wouldn't have happened. Who's blowing up my phone?
Is it Beyonce?
No.
Oh. Because she was blowing up Lady Gaga's phone in the song, right? Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It would have been nice to have seen her during halftime.
I know my Gaga. Who,
That's
Beyonce
right.
or Lady Gaga?
Beyonce. Ever pop in?
Let's
Help out
see.
with the song.
No, that didn't need to happen.
Didn't need to.
Gaga had it all on her own.
That's right. I guess she was the mega diva,
Zap.
and not in the negative wave.
Kazap. Don, I think for this one, I might just send you a PSD with all the layers so you can kind of get an idea of the trees. And we'll go with that as opposed to me inking them. But when I lay in flats, I'll go ahead and put some in. Ooh, mid-yawn. I'll go ahead and put some in for that. Yeah, once I get the flats in, I'll just send you the whole thing with the flats and all, and you can destroy the colors at will. Alright, so we got that, we got that, we got that, we got that, we got that. One thing I need to do, let's see, let's go ahead and let's just extend this mountain for ease of treeing. And let's, oh, you know what? I didn't do a ruler on the other side. Freehand it is. No, I don't think it is. Actually, I wonder. Let's just try and start thin here. Get thicker as we go out. I'm breaking my rule of inking at 100% because I just have to. These gnomes aim like stormtroopers. And there's all this nonsense. Whoa. So it was one of the story artists at DreamWorks who does comics on the side that instilled in me the only draw at 100%. And
That's treated you well, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, it basically it's like even if, so here's a good example of the draw at 100%. So let's take the eyes on this guy, right? If you look at it at size, which is going to be about like that, like that is going to be about size. You can't really see the eye whites and the stuff like that, you know? So
Right.
if you come in at 100%, or I mean, I can come in at 200, 300, 400%, and I could
But
literally,
that detail's all lost.
well, I mean, I could do an eye, right? Like I could make my brush smaller and I could get in here and I could actually draw an eye, but it just gets lost.
Yeah.
And so his advice was always stay at 100%. And think of even though you're digitally inking, think of it as if you do have a brush, you know,
Right.
and be
Because
like,
you're not
well,
gonna use a magnifying glass in real life, right? To
No.
go in there and
no,
paint the.
you're gonna do your best,
Yep.
right? So Basically, it comes down to how lightly you can touch your brush. And now Cintiqs have gotten really good about that in the modern age. Takes a lot of concentration for me to be able to draw that small. I don't know if you can tell on camera too, but my face is just like sinking into the Cintiq Ferris Bueller style. Dude, speaking of 80s movies, Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
He was.
What you gotta do?
He was one of my favorites.
He did a really good job of being very strong in whatever he was in, you know?
Dude, I loved Weird Science as a kid.
Yeah.
That movie, I mean, I think that movie had, as an absolute uber nerd growing up as a kid, I think Weird Science had a bigger effect on me than Breakfast Club and those movies.
I can see that. I mean, you associated more with Weird Science than you did with like Molly Ringwald.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Totally. Yeah. I would say, like, as far as movies that, I mean, obviously, you know, I live a Star Wars life, but, movies that affected me as a kid in a kid way, probably Goonies and Weird Science are the top two.
Well, you can't go wrong with Anthony Michael Hall, right?
I didn't think so.
He was, you know, he was sort of like the everyman nerd at that time.
Well, and you know, Iron Man's in it as well.
Yeah, that's right. Boy, if somebody could have told him then what he would become today.
Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah.
I don't think... I will go on record saying that I think his ability to play Tony Stark...
comes from all his damage?
Comes from all of his damage.
Yeah, oh, totally. I think so.
Because I mean, that's Tony Stark. Like, he is...
He lived that life.
Yeah. I mean, he knows it. That's just him.
And I think those are the characters he's sort of played best, have been like the sort of slightly damaged, but, you know, like, enjoyable, you know, people. He's, you know.
I enjoy your damage.
That's exactly right. I want to sit back and watch you mess up. No, that's not what I mean. I mean somebody who's slightly damaged, but you can still feel like you can sit down and talk to them like they're real.
Yeah.
Yeah, method acting. I just prepared for this role 20 years ago.
Oh, gnomes. You need to get better aim, guys.
Maybe they're worried about crossing the streams.
I thought about doing a crossing the streams joke, but...
Yeah. It's almost too easy.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I like... I'm a big proponent of not having dialogue in the comic strip if I don't have to.
Sure.
Not because I hate writing it, but I love writing it. It's just that I would rather show and not tell.
Right.
You know?
You want the action to speak for itself.
Yeah. Oh my god, YouTube is just gonna have a field day with this video. All night tonight. My phone's gonna be lighting up my bedroom. Bing, you have a copyright claim. Bing, you have a copyright claim. Bing. But the music is so good. I love Kirby. Let's pull this back a scotch and turn the ruler off. Let's see if I can pull this out here. I am impressed with Ray Frienden's brushes for Clip Studio Paint and the ability to, I mean, I don't know if you guys can see in the stream the max brush size shape around this thing, but it's like it's a testament to the brush and to the pressure settings for the Cintiq. And this is an old Cintiq. This is not a new Cintiq. This thing is ancient by Cintiq standards. But I'm really able to get some detail by not pressing down too crazy. It's just, it's impressive. It has absolutely nothing to do with my skill or lack thereof either. This is all technology working.
Isn't that how it should be?
Don't allow me to think, technology.
Just enable me to be awesome. Thank you.
Alright, what are we missing? We're missing a hat over here. Oh, this is just Tangent City. There's nothing I can do about it. My artwork lives in Tangent City. Staring over at the other side.
Of course, when you say Tangent City, my first reaction is, oh, I wonder how one gets there.
So, I was in a pre-calculus class once, and we had a test, and it was one question on the test, and it was explain using the Eagles Hotel California how the graph of a tangent works. That was the question.
Okay.
Right? Awesome question. Awesome question. Isn't it? And the teacher that did it was this awesome dude named Ron Jones. And he was like the student's best friend. I mean, he taught pre-cal, so he was obviously a smart guy. But in the summer, he sold lawnmowers at our local Sears.
Nice. I always felt bad that teachers had to do stuff like that, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a travesty. I mean...
Because, you know, during the week, they're working, you know?
All right, quit being a Quit being a teacher's advocate and answer the question. Using the Eagles Hotel California. Explain a tangent.
The tangent?
Yeah, the graph of a tangent. You know what the graph of a tangent looks like, right?
I'm trying to think of what. Well, I should know.
Well, so like if you have, X and Y, a tangent curve will always approach X, but never hit it.
Well, it's like a limit.
Infinity. It will go on infinitely, and it will never cross the X-axis.
So you can check out anytime you want.
But you can never leave. That's it.
I mean, that's about all the song has for it that's popular.
Okay, that's completely not true, but
I mean, as far as lines go, right? Like, that's the line everybody knows.
except
Other
for
than the obvious, welcome to the Hotel California.
I think you just disproved your own statement. Congratulations.
I said other than. That's true. You could take it to the limit one more time, but that's a different song.
Yes, but see, with a tangent, you never reach the limit.
That's right. I remember doing all that stuff a long, long time ago.
Math is cool.
Yeah. That's integration. Yeah. I don't see how you derived that answer.
Wah, wah. All right, what are we looking at here? We're going to do the trees that way. So we'll do that, we'll do that, we'll do that. That should be that. That will do this. Something. Let's do the most dreaded part of the evening, which is turning off the background sketch. No.
Math jokes are all right.
I need to add just a little bit of heft here to this rock.
Why was 6 afraid of 7? Yeah, that's a classic.
Because 7 is the number of the beast?
No.
Oh.
Because 7, 8, 9.
It's a way homer.
Yeah. Speaking of good actors, Mr. Cage.
As in Nicholas?
Yeah.
Not the bees! No! Have you seen that?
I don't know if I have or not. I think I have. I've seen a lot of stuff on the internet.
Oh man, you gotta go look up the Wicker Man bees.
Oh yeah.
Just go Google Nicolas Cage Wicker Man bees. I mean it's just meme central.
And the Wicker Man was like a remake, right?
The one that he's in is a remake of an extremely good horror movie. Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw the original.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage, WI, Nicolas Cage Wiki, Nicolas Cage Wicker Man, Nicolas Cage Wicker Man Bees.
Boom.
Then after that, it's Nicolas Cage Wild at Heart, and Nicolas Cage Wizard.
You
So
just
many good things from Nicolas Cage WI.
you just want Wicker Man bees.
Oh, I want them all. Not the bees.
It's a pretty amazing clip. Now I've sent you off on some wild goose chase.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage sort of sucks you in. YouTube clips.
Not the bees.
Yeah. Ugh. YouTube with forced ads.
No, Don, I haven't seen him yet. But I will definitely check him out tonight. Oh, I gotta do his tats too. Forgot about that. I will definitely check him out. I'm pretty sure that they are going to be awesome.
I'm getting paged. Well, not work paged.
Paged. My beeper.
My beeper's going off.
Have a good night, sir.
Yep. I will talk to you guys later. Enjoy your strip. Looks like a lot of color and fun.
It's going to be amazing.
I can't wait. All right.
Later.
See you guys later.
Yeah, glowy. Nice. I'll check it out. So, wow, it looks really weird without the tree limbs, doesn't it? Let's get back here. I'm actually going to pull back just a little bit. I should have known better than that. Yeah, doesn't it? It looks way barren without the trees. Oh, that's better. Much better. Let's check out this. Check out this strip of which you speak. Oh, I love the one with the big shoe too. That's cool. Oh, nice. Yeah, the rainbow colors look great. That's cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. Guys, the strip Don is talking about is at legendofbill.com, and if you go back to the Last Gnome Syndicate strip, check it out. And then, of course, this is the ensuing fight for afterwards. After that rainbow explosion. Alright, here, let's see what we got going on. Pull off to the side here, and let's put in a flat layer. Alright, we'll turn that off. I really need to reorganize palettes. Whoops, I didn't even mean that color. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, this is going to be interesting because everything is just going to fill in a really nasty way. Dude, Skittles product placement would be no problem. Especially if they're willing to pony up that cash. So I'm going to go a little bit lighter and more toward blue for these trees in the back. How come that didn't happen? Oh. There we go. Then we'll get a little bit darker and more saturated. Come right there. Then let's get a little bit darker. We'll do that. Wow, really? Almost have that gap closed pretty small. Then let's get a little bit darker for our leaves that are right up in our grill piece. Then I'm going to go and grab this middle ground here for these guys. Try to mirror some of this. This is where it's going to get complicated because this little reaction shape thing here is going to have to appear. Ooh. Oh, I see. Alright, let's close the gap a little wider. There we go. I'm just going to go ahead and fill this in like this. And then we'll come back and fill it in the rest. We'll come back and add an effect to that in a little bit. I do enjoy Manga Studios' ability to close the gap, as it were. So let's head back up here to the yellowish, greenish dish and try to get a gray for the rocks. We'll go a little darker here and see how that holds up here. Oh, you know what? I just realized I've got flux running too. Boo. Let me disable that for an hour. Whoa, now the colors changed drastically for me. Oh, bummer. Yeah, we'll just rock and roll with it here and see what happens. And you know what, actually, we're going to not use the skin color there. Still got to put on his tats as well. Let's go ahead and give him pearly white teeth. As a villain, I think Warwick takes care of his teeth, you know? He's an okay guy when it comes to teeth. I agree. I think Warwick takes pride in his appearance, and he understands the importance of good dental hygiene. And you're right, it does fit his character. Oh, I think we want to go darker there. And purple. Let's actually start with that. So I think in that last strip, his power color was pretty hot pink. Yeah, I hear you about the blue. I thought it was a different blue, though, than the scarf. There we go. I think that's more accurate. I think this pink may be a little bit different, but I do enjoy the fabulousness of it. We'll grab this and turn it white in just a minute. Okay, so let's get a little greenish blue here. Fill that guy in. Yeah, I need to account for that. There we go. Sorry, mountains, you're getting closed up. Oh, I just filled that on the mono layer. Poop. There we go. This may be way too strong of a green, but we're gonna see. I mean, it would be pretty green, and then we can have some herm. Pull the saturation down too. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Twas a bit Seussian, it was. Let's see, huh? Boom. Wow, that gap fill works like a charm. Holy Moses. Boom. Zapped, baby, zapped. All right, Mr. Kirby, let's see what you got for me, sir. Wait. I always like to take the skin tone from Kirby and then just drop it straight darker and a little more saturated for the nose, and then go slightly darker and desaturated for that nostril right there. I don't think I like Kirby's magic color now, though. I think I'd rather just have it yellow. Like 12s. Clashing a little bit too much with the grass. Let's get in on Giles here. Get that red hat. How you gonna get that red hat though? Boom. Our skin. Our skin tune. And then Giles is green, but we're gonna have to be careful what green we use. That should pop him pretty well. Alright, let's do a quick save of this before we do any effects or anything. Let's turn that back on. Let's get another layer. See if we can set this to multiply and get exactly what we want. Okay, so let's go here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull yeah, because that does make sense. I'm going to do follow adjacent pixel though. Basically just grab everywhere there's trees. Like so. Then I'm going to go here and create a mask of that. We'll turn everything back on. And I should be able to... Yeah. Oh, that looks cool right there with the color scheme and all the pencil. Ugh. Awesome. Alright, so let's paint us some trees. We'll use the same brush. Start with the sky color and go darker. Maybe push toward green just a bit, as long as we're not conflicting. I don't know if I like this color for it though. I think it's too green. We can definitely do that method. We can also do that method, which works just as well. Oops. I don't like that X. Ooh, you know what we can do as well? Yeah. And nobody says that we have to get the whole tree in at once, right? We can do this kind of thing. And then if we want to expand it, why not do it? I'm okay with it crossing into that sort of splash zone right there. Just to did it again. Gotta get the whole tree in there. Yeah, it's amazing how much adding those little trees back there adds so much depth to the environment. It's pretty funny. Let's give a big fat one in here. Too fancy. That's better. Uh-oh. Looks like we may end up stopping the trees for the mountains. Which actually kind of works. Let's pull in that other side, and then we'll make a determination. Oh, I'm all tangenty on Frank's tail. You know what? Let's see how this works though. Maybe this is a happy accident. Maybe his tail will pop. Ooh. Yeah, there we go. I like happy accidents. Do I want to do that? I don't want to do that. He says we can't do that on the top either. Nobody. That's who. Trees. Wow, 11:30. Holy smokes. All right, so we got 2 more layers that we need to add. Hello. Let me save this. That acted kind of funny. All right. So we still need to do works as tats. And I still want to do what I'm going to call the zap effects. The zap effects aren't going to be anything crazy. I think actually what I want to do is pick up, I want to pick up that pink color, but desaturate it. So that it kind of plays nice between the beam and the shirt. Yeah, no, that's true. I try and save as much as I can. Okay. So we got to pull this thing back in here. We got to rope this in. And it's just not going like I wanted it to. I'm not sure if I want to have that line there or not, but it might look nice with the line. It might not. We'll have to see. I may end up just throwing this shape in and then leaving it to my amazing colorist's artistic license. What I think I want to do is, whoops, let's just grab this right quick. I know that there's probably at least 10 better techniques to get this done this way, but for right now, we're just going to do it the old-fashioned way and erase the areas that we don't want. And I got a little overzealous. Like I said, I think there's probably a better way to portray that in the color, but it communicates right now. Okay, let's do some quick tone, and then call it a day. Done. What I'm going to do is duplicate this flats layer, just so you can have it for selection if I end up putting tone on other things. Oh, tats, 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 rat-a-tat, tat, tats. Boom. Go to my go-to orange. This is going to be an interesting angle. It's so bright and primary. Fun, fun. Okay, so back to doing just a smidge of God, if I don't hit everything in the world. Good Lord. So let's just do a smidge of cut and grad here. Like so. Gradient. Multiply. Foreground of transparent. Here we go. Whoops. Yeah, that's not going to work. There we go. That's what I was looking for. How do we get pink down there on that one side? We'll have to fix that. In fact, let's just fix that now. Weird. Oh. Weird. All right. Where were we? Ah, yes. Flats. Do that. Okay. Now we're back to normal. And we do that. All right, go back to flats. Let's grab our sky. Yeah, right. Whoop, guess what I forgot to do? Transparent pixels. I think I want to come over here. And add a little more density to the sky in the corners. It doesn't, I mean, it honestly doesn't take much cut and grad to get things looking okay, you know? Kind of a mediocre, good enough kind of look, sort of. What I'm gonna do here is cheat a little bit and grab all the rocks. And do way too much with them. Actually, wait, I don't want that at all. I want screen. There we go. There we go, just a little bit. And honestly, I'm not going to do much more. The powers read as powers. I could go in and glow them, you know, and do the glow effect, but I know, Don, you're going to do that, so. I really just wanted to push the depth just a little bit. This is kind of bugging me with the tree not in front of the cape, but I'm okay there too. Let's give it a save. Got the old LOB. Boom. Yeah, I'm trying to decide if the cape bothers me that much. Let me, we'll do a quick little test here. No, that bothers me even more because it's just the scale's off. I'd rather be that way. This is pretty cool though because I think it's going to be a pretty fun crossover. And we're kind of given hints that our star isn't done quite yet. All right, I'm saving it. Boom. And Don, I will drop you the PSD of this so that you've got all the layers to do all your stuff with. And I think I'm gonna call it a night. Well, that's true, and I'm kind of hinting at what Bill has up his sleeve over here, so we'll see if it holds up. And I'm gonna export this, post it at legendofbill.com, and I think we're gonna call this strip done in progress. So everyone, thank you so much for hanging out tonight and coming to the stream. I really appreciate it. I can't thank everyone enough. And you know, for all the support and all the fans enjoying the comics. So I know Don and I really appreciate it. And thank you very much. Hopefully we'll see you toward the end of the week. We'll see if we can get a stream in, but otherwise, Monday night, as always. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.